Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style.
And I'm Jill Chivers from Shop Your Wardrobe. And in this video, we're going to be talking about something that's very close to my heart. Well, two subjects. One is psychology and the other is shoes. And we've brought these two topics together to talk about the personality of shoes and how different shoes have different personalities and how you can tell some of those differences so that when you're making your own choices about what footwear to buy or what footwear to wear for the day, you have a sense of what it's saying on your behalf.
How are your shoes communicating
That's
today?
right.
So the first shoe I'm going to show you is a simple court shoe with a fairly rounded toe.
Yeah.
This is fairly classic. It's in a neutral colour.
Yeah.
It's got no extreme detail, not a particularly high heel.
Yeah.
Yes, it is made of suede, which actually softens it down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's on the whole, it's a pretty kind of classic shoe.
Yeah.
Now compare that to here, which is another fairly classic but almond shaped shoe, so it's marginally round, more pointed.
Yeah.
And the more rounded the toe of a shoe, the more feminine it is. This is because curved lines are yin.
Right.
And
Excellent.
angular lines are yang. So the more angular the shoe, the more we go into a more dramatic or yang personality style. So if you look at these, you can see both are purple, but one is really quite pointy. It's a more yang, it's more dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one would be what? It's not classic because this is classic.
This would be more into the elegant chic.
Right.
Where it's got a bit more interest in that it has a colour.
Yeah.
But it's not bright red.
Yes, this beautiful,
Plummy.
kind of mulberry kind of colour.
So here we've got a similar sort of colour, but here we have, it's got shiny, I don't know if you can see, this is quite shiny, and it's also got a little bow detail. It's a little bit more, it's got a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Look, and this is what I call a dramatic elegant chic, this one. And it's a higher heel again. We've gone higher again.
Yeah.
Now, if I pick this, another sort of, pump, again, a little rounded toe, but more armoury, but it's got a quite obvious bow.
Yeah.
And bows are naturally feminine.
And that's interesting to know too. I didn't know that. Every time there's a bow, it's feminine.
It's feminine, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, a small bow versus a big bow. So the bigger the bow, probably, if it's a really huge bow, it goes into dramatic. So it might be a dramatic feminine.
Right.
Because when we overscale an item, it becomes more dramatic.
But this one is the same colour as the shoe as well.
It's not really obvious. So it's got some little details, some little punch holes. It's quite a feminine sort of court shoe.
Would that have a bit of classic? It's got a slight spectator kind of quality to it.
It's got a spectator. It comes from the classic, but then we've added that feminine on top. And the red's also slightly dramatic. It's not a really bright red, but the fact that it's red also adds a bit of drama. So it's in a way, it's a classic dramatic feminine shoe.
Yeah.
Because the thing with bows too is that bows are about presence.
Right.
Unwrapping presents.
Okay, that kind of presence.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, excellent.
Now, here we have another court shoe, another pump.
Imogen is just lucky. Her foot size and mine are not the same.
She might have stolen this. Now, but this is a quite dramatic version of a pump.
Yeah.
Not only does it have a little platform built in, which also gives, and it's got a huge heel.
Yeah.
It's got more drama because of the leopard print.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so this is, it's a much more, hey, look at me shoe. This is really communicating, look at me. It's got a slightly squared off toe, which also is a bit stronger because when we put angles in, we're putting more yang into the shoe.
And the heel's a bit yangy too.
It's got quite a sharp, almost like it narrows down at the back. It's got a sharpness to it.
It's the flat iron building of the heel.
Of the heel.
Yeah. And it's shiny.
It's shiny as well.
Yeah.
Now, imagine we're going to get into some ballet flats. Some flat shoes. So I would look at and this is it's a little ballet flat, that this is the feminine comfort shoe.
Right. Because
it's more delicate than something like this is the relaxed sort of comfort shoe, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very sneakery, it's got a thicker sole, it's all about the padding. Yes. This is your relaxed comfort shoe.
Yeah.
This is your feminine comfort shoe.
Right, yeah.
And it's got delicate little detail, it's a pretty light colour.
Yeah.
And then here is
it's got a thin heel.
A thin sole.
Thin sole, sorry, yeah.
And so here is another ballet flat, but it's getting a little bit more dramatic. So it's a dramatic feminine.
With that pink and turquoise.
Because the pink and turquoise. And yes, it's got a bow. It's got a bow again, but it's kind of got a big dramatic element to it.
Yeah, right.
Rather than being, kind of simple and plain, more plain.
Yeah.
Now, here is another example of a pretty flat shoe. It's got little pom-poms on it.
I love these. I could barely contain myself when Imogen brought them out of her
what's
wardrobe.
interesting, so we've got the pointy toe.
Yes.
Which takes it away from being really, really feminine.
Yes.
To going, have a little bit more strength because we've got that angle on there. But then we've got this basically ballerina pink silk, which is very feminine.
Yeah.
And then we've got the little pom-poms, which are soft and touchable
which
and fun.
wrap around the
and
ankle.
it's got basically a ballerina ankle tie, which is, we think about ballerinas are very feminine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a real femininity to this, but it's got a little bit of strength because of the pointier toe.
Yeah.
Now, if we start looking at our more relaxed sort of, sneakery shoes, we've got this very relaxed, comfortable. This is about walking for long distances. This is not about anything else. It just says, I am completely practical. It's got a very rounded toe.
Yeah.
And,
So that's 100% relaxed.
It's 100% relaxed.
Yeah.
Here we have a little kind of kick sort of shoe. And again, it's very relaxed, but it's actually made from leather rather than fabric. So when we make something leather rather than a fabric is always more
refined?
Well, no, because here a fabric is actually more practical.
Okay, right, yeah.
Or more relaxed.
Yeah.
But, but if this was a canvas sneaker, it's more relaxed because it's slightly more dressed up because it's leather.
And it's got these
and it's got
stars.
actually little stars, which if you look at really closely, are actually metallic underneath. So it's got a little metallic that pops through. Yeah. So it's not completely plain. So it takes it actually to be going, maybe it's a slightly creative and even slightly feminine version of a sneaker.
Yeah.
It's a way more feminine version of a sneaker than that.
Right, yeah.
Isn't it?
That's almost unisex except for the low throat.
Yes.
Whereas
this is
a
the
lady's
little
shoe.
stars, the little detail. So small detail is more feminine. And stars are a kind of one of the feminine sorts of patterns.
Yeah.
Now, if we get into, say, here is another sneaker style shoe, but this one's got a heel.
Yeah.
Which is more dramatic.
Yeah.
It's not particularly practical.
Yeah.
And then it's got this stud detail at the back. Now, I don't really own rebellious shoes.
No.
It's not really part of my personality style.
No.
But this studding is probably, it's that metalware and studding that it's closer to getting into a more rebellious. It's got, as Jill was saying, she said, I could imagine these on a set of Mad Max.
I could. Yeah.
Which is a little bit, it's a tough, there's a toughness to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And in fact, in this metallic, in a way, has an almost space age sort of feel or a kind of postmodern toughness to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Versus here we have another metallic shoe, and this is a little Oxford. Now the pointier toe, rather than being a rounded toe, stops it from feeling completely relaxed.
Right.
So this is almost, in some ways, you could say it's a little creative, even a touch of dramatic because of the shine. It's a look at me shoe. It's not a I'm disappearing into the background
this
shoe.
This is a piano lounge shoe. That's how I think of it. It needs to be in a piano lounge.
A smoking trouser and a...
It does, absolutely. And a martini, I think.
Yes. But it's still a flat shoe. It's got some comfort about it. It's not completely dramatic because it's got the low heel.
Yeah.
But it is, and
it's super funky actually.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And then here we have a kind of creative shoe in that we've got this little Louis style heel.
Yes.
We've got a snake skin, but it's not really loud in the way a dramatic would go for an animal print. When we compare it to these as an animal print, you go, no, there's drama there. These are really quiet in comparison.
So they're more creative, these ones.
These are more creative, and the sort of shape and construction is a little more creative. It's a little more quirky.
And the fact that they're a bootie as well. Like I can imagine that with a skirt or a dress, having more a creative look than underpants as well. And that's what's been so fascinating for me about this video and this discussion is it's not about the quintessential creative booty. It's about your interpretation of it. And then there are some things, the yin and the yang and angles and curves, and I think that's really interesting. But for me, the power of this concept is about how you interpret it. And I think sometimes we can get a bit lost because we think creative is this, rebellion is this, rebellious is this. And of course there are those elements, but it comes alive when you interpret for yourself what that means. And if for you this represents a degree of rebellious, then that's what it means to you.
So when you're thinking about how do I interpret a shoe, so if you look at the yin and yang, and we'll link to this in the post, that So straighter lines, solid lines, heavier, darker colours and bright colours are all more yang.
Right. Yeah.
Versus if we go for curved lines, soft colours, light colours, softer fabrics, they are more yin.
Yeah.
So it's going. So if you're looking at, well, what are the elements? You go, I might have some yin and some yang.
Right.
I might have, so with these, I've got both yin and yang elements because I've got a suede,
Yes.
which is soft,
Yes.
but then I've also got a shiny leather,
Yeah.
which is yang. So I've got yin, yang, yin bow,
Yes.
kind of yang, you know, spiky, pointy,
Yeah.
straight heel, yang.
And
So
the pointy toe.
and the pointy toe is yang. So
Yeah.
I've got yin, yang, yin, yang.
Yeah.
Versus if I looked at these, I've got yin, yin, you know, the detail on it is all curved.
Yeah.
And I've got softness, and you've got a little bit of yang in the polished, the patent.
Yeah.
But there's more yin elements than yang.
Yeah.
If I look at these, I've got yin in the toe, yin in the pattern, a light colour yin. So there's much more yin in this as a whole.
Yeah.
It's only the shine that gives it any yang.
Right. Yeah.
So everything you look at, you know, I look at these, I've got curves, yin, light colour, yin.
Yeah.
You know, it's soft, it's fabric, all yin. So
right.
they're, you know, they don't really have any strength to them in the
Yeah.
way that something that's pointy or darker or brighter or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
The one thing it has is the thicker sole gives it slightly more weight
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
rather than a finer sole, which is more refined.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So hopefully kind of having a look at these shoes, you'll get a better idea of when you're looking at your shoes, what are they communicating? And of course it's about your whole outfit.
Absolutely.
So it's what are they saying in conjunction with everything else?
Yes. I mean, these boots would look different with a pair of cut-off jeans, leopard print tights, and, you know, a crop top and a, you know, raggedy jacket than they would with a pair of dark jeans with a nice blazer to them. They're going to show up completely differently.
So we'd love to know your thoughts on the shoes you wear and what you really enjoy wearing.